Hello, this is Brett Premack, aka the Jazz Video Guy. And I want to tell you about something really cool coming up here this Sunday, January 8th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You could figure out the time depending on your time zone, I hope. Starting a new show. I did a live streaming show at the beginning of the pandemic that I had a lot of fun doing, and I decided to do it again with higher production values this time. Once a week on Sunday night at 8 o'clock. The show is called Sunday Night Live. And I'll be talking with some musicians, some writers, some producers, people involved in the world of jazz. This week, my guest is Aidan Levy, who has just written the best and perhaps only real Sonny Rollins biography, Saxophone Colossus. Aidan took 7 years to write this book, and it's a very thick book, and there's a lot of information in there. Some stuff that surprised even me. I know something about Sonny Rollins, having been a fan for, my God, 60 years, been listening to Sonny Rollins. And then 1978, wrote a cover story about him, interviewed him for Downbeat Magazine. That's where we met, became friends, spent some time with him and Lucille up in Germantown, New York. After Lucille passed, when Clifton Anderson and Terry Hinty decided that Sonny Rollins needed a website, I got the gig. Hey, fantastic. I got a chance to work with Sonny for, I guess, about 12 or 13 years. And when I started to get into video again, I come from a film background, but I kind of put video aside when I became a journalist and got involved with the web. And then in 2005, excuse me, with the lowered cost of production and streaming video, I began to post video, do interviews with artists I was working with, like Sonny Rollins and Joe Lovano and Teddy Seidman and many others. And Sonny was very supportive, as was Billy Taylor, excuse me, another man whose website I was working with at the time. And I started to do a lot of interviews with Sonny on video. And hey, George V. Johnson Jr., a vocalist everyone should check out, who's very strongly rooted in the tradition. He's got a new recording out, Walk Spirit, Talk Spirit, that great composition by McCoy Tyner. And we're going to have George on the show, definitely. So back to my journey, started posting video, and then YouTube arrived. I jumped on it. I became one of the first people posting jazz video. And when I started the channel, I said, what am I going to call it? Brett Premack. It's really a difficult name to remember. Jazz. Okay, that's about jazz. Video. Jazz Video Guy. 3 words which describe what I do. And because I was the first one, I took off very quickly. And then 2009, Facebook arrived. I utilized social media to build a global audience. Fantastic. Here it is, 16 years later, 30 million views, over 2,000 videos. What can I tell you? I'm a driven man. I love doing this. I love the music. I always have. This music has been a really important part of my life. And what an honor and a thrill for me to know and work with musicians like Billy Taylor and Sonny Rollins. And Sonny's a very interesting guy. That's an understatement. Complicated fellow. And I think Aidan Levy's book, I don't say it presents Sonny in a new light, but it really deepens the story with a lot of details. As I said, many of which I never knew. So we're calling the show Sonny Rollins, The Untold Story. Now, there are a number of people doing live streaming shows. This is something that has become much, much easier to do. And people are also getting faster internet connections. When the internet started, it was very slow. In 1999, I was one of the people who put together some of the first live web streams from Birdland. We did the Dave Brubeck Quartet and Saxophone Summit with Michael Brecker, Joe Lovano, and Dave Liebman in broadband. nobody had broadband. Thankfully, some of those survive here on my channel, the stuff with the Saxophone Summit. Edward Johns, what a fantastic privilege to have worked with Rollins. I'm excited you will be interviewing Aiden. I've been waiting for his book to be published for maybe 2 years since it was announced. The wait was worth it. So here's what I want to emphasize today that's important. I need your help because I just don't want to do a show, excuse me, where I do an interview or I talk. I want to get the audience involved. I want this to be an interactive show. Now, it is possible for you to participate in the show via a chat. You type in your comments or your questions. I will feature some of them on the screen. I want to go a step further here. I want people to send video. I want you to use your cell phone, your smartphone, to record like what your question is. Like, hi, my name is Bob Jones. I live in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. And Sonny, I've always wondered, what kind of reeds do you use? Okay. Well, Sonny is not here to answer that question. I don't think Aiden, maybe Aiden knows, but maybe Aiden doesn't. But the questions we're looking for are about Sonny Rollins, the man, Sonny Rollins, the musician, something about his life, his story, his music. Or maybe you want to make a comment like, I think Saxophone Colossus, the record, is the best thing Sonny Rollins has ever recorded. Whatever you want to say, upload those videos to the Google Drive. It's in the description here. Aiden and I will choose the best of them. We'll use them on the show, and you have a chance of winning a free copy of the book because we're going to give away a copy of the book. Now, if you want to go a step further, and I am 100% interested in this as well, it's possible I could bring some people from the viewing audience, from the global audience, onto the show. I'm going to be using a platform called StreamYard, which many live streaming shows are now done on. And it's possible for me to add some additional people. So if you would actually like to be on the show, please drop me an email and, we'll talk about it. Now, if you want to be on the show, obviously you need a pretty fast internet connection, a good webcam, and you have to be brave. You can't be shy, because if I put you on screen, you are a participant on the show. You just can't sit there and go, which is nice if you're in an opera. But an interactive TV show, that's not going to be happening. Okay, just wanted to get this out there today. I've been considering doing this for a number of months. I recently moved to Mexico. I said I'll do it in December, but a lot of complications here. Finally, I got my office set up. I'll give you a tour of that sometime. It's very cool here. Mexico is a great place. That's the subject of another video. I have a very fast internet connection here. 300 down, 100 up. Fiber optic. Not many people in the United States have that connection. Interesting. Faster internet in Mexico than the United States. When I found out that Aiden's book was coming out, I said, let's have this be the first episode. So a lot of cool shows coming up here. Join us on Sunday night. Now, also, I know that this is not a medium where people always show up for a live show. I mean, if this was the final episode of Seinfeld, 90 million people would show up that night. It's different on the web. The show, Sunday Night Live, Sonny Rollins, the Untold story, and think about it for a second, will be available on demand after the show is aired. And also, as someone who creates web video, I know people don't like to spend a lot of time watching videos. Shorter videos usually bring in a larger audience and they stay. So I'm going to be editing the different sections of the show, the different topics that we discuss, into smaller videos that I'll be posting throughout the next week. So please join me on Sunday night, January 8th at 8 p.m. for the premiere edition of Sunday Night Live with my special guest, Aiden Levy, and we're going to talk about one of the most interesting people in jazz, one of our greatest improvisers, Sonny Rollins, who's the subject of Aiden's new book, Sonny Rollins, Saxophone Colossus. Blessings to everyone. Thank you so much for your support of what I'm doing. let's hope for a healthy, which ultimately is the most important thing. I can speak from experience, peaceful 2023. Blessings to your families. I'll be back.